Hello guys, this video is an in-depth guide for presets. Presets is where you plan and set your item builds or farming routes and other pickup functions which will greatly improve your farming time and of course your chances of winning. We will be talking about the different tabs and options that you can set that you might not be aware of, such as the item build, map guide, and the group tabs. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so first up is the item builds. So to go there, just go to prepare presets. Now, for example, let's try to make a preset for ballista. Let's just say we're going to make a pure attack speed build. So first, once you get to the screen, just click create preset and you can name your preset, something like that. Now you can actually decide which weapon you want to use. So if we are going to just mainly, let's say, focus on the attack speed build, so let's say hunter's bow. Now for the helmet, let's just set the sniper's hat, I think. Yeah, I think there is no attack speed helmet besides this one, but we'll talk about that later. So just place the sniper's hat. Now for the armor, it will be the hunter's armor, so it has an attack speed 30%. Now for mobile, I guess you have to tap the icons so that you will be able to see the explanations of the armor. Okay, let's place this there. Now for the gloves, I think it's sniper. Oh, sorry, it's hunter's gloves for attack speed build, and then likewise for the boots, hunter's boots. Okay, so after placing the items, you can save it. Now for the accessory, yes, there you go. The preset has been saved. Now for the accessory, if we still want to focus on the attack speed, place the feather accessory. Now for the cards, let's say Gale, Burning Passion, then Gust. Okay, this is just an example. So this is the first tab, which is the item build. So we are free to place whatever kind of build, or I mean whatever kind of items that we want. Okay, you can also place orange or legendary equipments if you want. Alright, so but preferably because you're not able to make a legendary equipment immediately, so it's best to just place these epic equipments. Now at the right side, you'll be able to have an idea for the recipe on how to create the equipments. So you would have to gather bow shaft, etc. So you should be able to see them on the right side. Okay, so that's basically it for the item build tab. So it's where you set up your primary build on how you want to build your character. Okay, now we move on to the map guide tab. Okay, let's save this first. So initially, as you can see, there are no maps and there are no markers on the maps, but automatically under the required materials, these are the materials that you will need so that you will be able to make all the epic equipments that you have set. Okay, so what's the purpose of setting the markers? So number one, of course, you will be able to plan the route. Okay, so let's just test this. So for example, if you hover over Hunter's Hut, you can see that there are stars on some of the materials in the screen, right? So this means that if you click on Hunter's Hut, then let's say you select a number or a symbol, it's up to you. Let's say number 1, and then you add the marker. So you will be able to see the map on the left side. So let's continue. I'll just add another one, winery. Then let's say sand prison, number 3. Okay. Then number 4, let's just say pro quarry. And then number 5, whale lighthouse. That's it. Okay, so I'll add also Ferry's Lake, number 6. Okay, now this is just an example. So if you see on the left side under the marker info or hunter's hut, you are expected that, let's just say you're able to get all of this, you're expected that you'll be able to craft the green equipment, the green, what do you call it? The green hunter's bow. Okay, so with that, this means that once you drop, let's say at the start of the game, you drop on hunter's hut and you get all this stuff, your expectation should be you should now have a hunter's bow. Okay, but it's only green. Now let's say that from hunter's hut you teleported and used the portal and you went to the winery. Once you got all the materials, this should be your expected equipment by this time. Okay, so the marker info is not just a marker, but it also shows what items that you should have by the time you reach that place. So by the time that you were able to gather the materials that are found on that place, assuming that you're able to gather the materials. But of course, if there are other players that got the materials before you, then you won't be able to make the items that are listed here. So these are just the expectations. Now, what are the use of these arrows? Okay, if you notice, there is an up and down arrow. You can click this, it goes up and it goes down. So the one on top, so now I've placed winery on top. This means that the game is showing you that this marker info is actually a sequential order, so from top to bottom. Okay, that means that, let's say if you drop on winery first, you should be able to make these 3 equipments immediately, okay, after gathering from the houses, right? Then afterwards, if you go to hunter's hut again, you'll be able to create the bow and upgrade the accessory to blue. Now if you go straight to sand prison, basically nothing will happen if you get the items, but there are still items that you need. But by the time you get to sand prison, there won't be any items that will be made. So let's say if you go to crow quarry first before you sand prison, what will happen? So I will place crow quarry upwards by pressing the up arrow. Okay, now you can see that after going to hunter's hut and going straight to crow quarry, apparently I'll be able, or I should be able, assuming that I get the materials, I should be able to create the gloves and upgrade it to color blue. Okay, likewise, if I go to sand prison, apparently there won't be any equipment that I'll be able to upgrade or create. However, let's say I went straight to Ferry's Lake after going to Crow Quarry. So the expectation is that I should be able now, by this time, I should be able to create the purple or violet, or sorry, epic grade of the weapon, helmet, and the gloves. And at the same time, since there is a plus sign, so apparently there's actually a lot of equipments that I'll be able to craft. So the epic grade of my boots, my accessories, up to 1 attribute card. Okay, since this is where the papyrus is. So basically, you should be able to plan your route through this window, the marker info. Now, to further emphasize my point, let's just say that your plan for some reason is to drop on Whale Lighthouse. Okay, so your first drop, would be on the whale lighthouse. So apparently, similar with Hunter's Hut, if you drop at whale lighthouse, you'll be able to make your weapon. And then if you go straight to winery, you'll be able to make these 4 items. So likewise, so as you can see, when I put the Hunter's Hut area on the topmost part, so it still shows the weapon, okay? But there is a difference, because if I do whale lighthouse and then winery, so these are the items. But if I do Hunter's Hut and then Crow Quarry, so as you can see, it's not as efficient versus Hunter's Hut and then immediately I go to winery. Okay, so I hope you were able to understand and absorb the point that with the help of this marker info, you will be able to maximize your time and your route so that you'll be able to craft faster the equipments that you need. Okay, so let's say that you didn't pay attention to this and you just go to Whale Lighthouse. Oh, and then afterwards you just went to Sand Prison. So by this time, these are the only 2 equipments you have. So should you encounter someone that went to Whale Lighthouse and then Hunter's Hut and then you met him at Sand Prison, most likely that your hero or you will have the disadvantage when it comes to the equipments, okay? Alright, now next is the group tab, okay? So here, should focus on the group info, this window right here. So basically what you do is you add a group, okay? Then you can name it whatever you want. Okay, so what's the use of the group tab? Okay, so basically you can, in this window, you can set the materials or items from consumable, from weapons down to materials that you want to be able to pick up automatically, okay, through the F function or through the auto gather function, okay? So this is my recommendation to have as your default. So to have these items. Okay, so I'll save that. So why these items? So first of all, copper ore, you can use this to make traps. Then coarse leather, and then coarse leather, because this is one of the materials for the legendary equipments. So I forgot to add, but I'll just add another group. But again, this is still for materials. So why do I do this? So just in case that you do make a legendary weapon, so these are one of the ingredients or the most likely ingredients, including the coarse leather, to make the legendary equipments. Okay, so just for an example, the hammer, you need the blood, 2 bloods, and 1 wind, and of course the heart of fire. So by default, you'll be able to pick them up, that you won't have to remember them throughout the game. But still important if you already memorized the recipe, or you can just look into it in game. Again, so back to my point, so copper ore. Misclick. Misclick. Let me just get that. Okay. Alright, so copper ore to make the traps, herb to make the potions, the wheat to make the baguette for food, and then lumber to make other consumables such as the spear, hunting spear, log, and where is it? The flame totem. Okay, you can also use it to make boards, so it's up to you. And then the mana stone, so you can use this to make the petrification flask. And then the soft stem, to make the scrolls, section scroll, speed scroll, purification scroll, and the most important, the mysterious powder. You need this to be able to craft the dimension powder, which is essentially your consumable blink, right? So that's one of the most important consumables in the game. So besides this, so what does this do? So you can also change the color of the material. Okay, I'll show you this when we go in the training. And then you can also turn off and turn on the claim all function. So my recommendation, so for this material, so I recommend that you should be able to claim them all by default. Likewise, the materials over here. Okay, now for the so this will be optional, so it's up to you. You can customize it. So let's say you just want to be able to get automatically by pressing F, or when you're in mobile, I think there's a different button. So let's just say that by default you just want to immediately be able to get an HP potion. Okay, you can add that HP potion, mana potion, then let's say you include herb. Okay, so save that. Then the rest, you don't want them to be automatically claimed, but they can be marked through a star. So you turn this off, you turn this off. Okay, so what will happen should you ever find a dimension shift powder or a copper ore or any of these items, you won't be able to automatically grab them. Okay, you're going to have to individually click on them or tap on them so that you will be able to get them in your inventory. However, for the HP and mana potion and the herb, you'll be able to get them through the claim all function. Okay, so but my default recommendation is to just turn them on. Okay, so I'll just save this like this so that I'll be able to show you later on. Likewise, I also recommend to create another group for whatever legendary equipment that you plan to use. Okay, so let's just say my build would be this bow, and then this helmet, and then this armor, then this gloves, and lastly the boots. Okay, so what's the use of this one? Okay, obviously they're difficult to make, but should they appear, let's say you killed someone, then yeah, the swordsman's hat, you'll be able to automatically pick them up. Okay, likewise, you can also use this later on so that you will be able to easily select or check what is the recipe or the materials needed for this equipment. Okay, so I'll just save this. Okay, so basically that's our full preset. So let's try it out. But before that, another recommendation is to make a preset that's again your equipments, assuming that you have all the legendary equipments. Okay, legendary. I'm going to show you what's that for later on. Likewise, I suggest that you also finish or complete the group over here. No need for the map guide. I'll show you later on. Okay. Okay, here we are. So let's try our preset. Just up somewhere. Hopefully, no, not much AI. Okay, here we are at Hunter's Hut. So, during in-game, you are able to select the preset that you want to use. Okay, you can also select your preset right before the game. Okay, during character selection. So, let's try the attack speed build that we just made. So, click on it, then close it. This one. So as you can see, attack speed build is now over here. This also means that all the things that you set on the group tab will be applicable. Okay, so if you can remember, guys, that at the hunter's hut, it said that we should be able to create a weapon. Okay, so we can see it right now here, lower right. I'll craft it right now. Okay, so basically that's all that we can create just from going in hunters. So now I will show you how the group build that we did works. As you can remember, what we did was we only allowed HP potion, mana potion, and I think herb to be picked up. So as you can see, the mushroom and the dragon fruit are not automatically picked up. Let's find the herb. Oh, here it is. Okay, so of course this one, a yellow star because it's part of the build. Now you can see there's a difference. The herb has a star, and we have the option to claim everything. But the tough fruit, which we did not specify on the group, cannot be claimed automatically. So let's press that. All we got was the herb. Okay. Now I'm going to try and craft the healing. No, upgrade the potion. Okay. So as you can see, the mysterious powder has a star, but we were not able to pick it up, right? So I'm going to craft the potion right now and drop it. Okay. Again, the mysterious powder has a star because we specified this as one of the groups, but we turned off the automatic claim, right? You guys remember? So now if I press F, the only thing that I got automatically was the HP potion. So that is why I recommend including this in the automatic pickup, because it's very important to create the mentioned shift powder. Okay, you need that. Okay, I hope you guys understood the benefits of the preset. So as you can see, the markers that we set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are already here. Now, should you wish in game, let's just say that you already crafted all the equipment. So this is why I specified also create a legendary preset once you have created your default build. So let's see. Okay, now that's the legendary equipment. So the benefit of this is that's just, as I mentioned, assuming that you've already built your violet equipment or epic equipment, you'll be able to easily see what you need, the recipe or the requirements that you need to be able to craft them easily, okay? Because what will happen is when you've already completed all the items here, so this space will just be blank, okay? So that's why after achieving that, my recommendation is switch to the legendary build. So should you encounter whatever items endgame, especially the spirit stone or the sage stone, you'll be able to craft them easily. You don't have to go through here and look for it and then check over here. You just have to look on the side. Okay, so that's basically it, guys. Alright, so we're back on this screen. So just last tips and advice. So right now, after the most recent patch, there is actually a copy function. So I know it's a bit tedious what we did for that tax speed build. So with this function, you can now copy the preset that we did. And what is more convenient is we can copy it to different heroes. Alright, so let's say you want to make tax speed build Stepan, just have to select him, and eventually when you go to Stepan, the tax speed build is already there. Okay, then you can just modify it as you want. Okay, Also, again, just a reminder, you can also import the builds of other players if you want, then modify it to your convenience. Okay, guys, so I hope this helps you understand and appreciate more the presets. Have a good day.